In a historic first, the USCGC Frederick Hatch, WPC 1143, visited partners in Tacloban, Philippines, from October 19 to 23, 2023, and the crew conducted engagements marking a significant milestone in the enduring relationship between the United States and the Philippines. The Coast Guard has sent a fast response cutter to the Philippines for the first time as the longtime US ally continues to butt heads with Beijing over territory in the South China Sea. The Frederick Hatch arrived in Tacloban on the island of Leyte on Thursday and departed Monday, the Coast Guard announced in a news release coinciding with the visit's end. That day, the United States renewed a warning that it would defend the Philippines in case of an armed attack after Chinese ships blocked and collided with a pair of Filipino vessels in the South China Sea. Philippine diplomats summoned a Chinese embassy official in Manila that day for a strongly worded protest following Sunday's collisions off 2nd Thomas Shoal. No injuries were reported, but the encounters damaged a Philippine Coast Guard vessel and a wood-hulled supply boat operated by the Navy. The Frederick Hatch is a Sentinel-class fast response cutter that was commissioned on Guam alongside its sister ships, Myrtle Hazard and Oliver Henry, in July 2021. The 154-foot-long vessels have a top speed of more than 28 knots and are designed for missions beyond the traditional search and rescue work for which the Coast Guard is best known. Armed with 4.50 caliber machine guns and a remote-controlled 25mm cannon, the $65 million cutters are used for drug interdiction, defense operations, maritime law enforcement and environmental protection. They can remain at sea for 5 days, giving them a range of more than 2,500 nautical miles, according to the Coast Guard. In Tacloban, the Frederick Hatch's crew met Philippine Coast Guard colleagues, school children and government officials, according to Monday's release. This visit of several days coincided with the observance of the Battle of Leyte Gulf, a crucial event in World War II history where U.S. Coast Guardsmen were a significant part of the U.S. forces and among the first to hit the beaches as the U.S. sought to retake the Philippines. We are deeply honored to be part of this observance and to strengthen the bond between the United States and the Philippines, said Lieutenant Patrick Dryce, commanding officer of the USCGC Frederick Hatch. It is a privilege to bring a U.S. Coast Guard fast response cutter to the Philippines for the first time and to visit the historic city of Tacloban. My crew was excited to collaborate with the Philippine Coast Guard to deepen our connections with our fellow seagoing service and explore this unique city and island. The move is meant to help the Coast Guard police China's illegal fishing in the region through fisheries patrols, enhance maritime domain awareness and enforcement efforts, with U.S. partners in the Western Pacific, who have limited offshore surveillance and enforcement capacity, their National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien said October 23. The Tacloban visit underscores the shared strategic efforts toward a stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific and aligns with the Pacific Area Commander's goals to prepare a ready force, generate combined effects, and uphold governance. It also supports U.S. Coast Guard District 14 and U.S. Coast Guard Forces Micronesia, Sector Guam's commitment to be a trusted partner in Oceania and deliver operational excellence. The U.S. Coast Guard is a vital force ensuring maritime safety, security, and stewardship across a vast Pacific expanse, spanning 6 continents, 71 countries, and 74 million square miles of ocean. U.S. Coast Guard Pacific Area leads coordination and integration efforts in this vast region, promoting collaboration with partners. Within this framework, U.S. Coast Guard District 14 oversees 14 million square miles in the Central and Western Pacific, serving as the Coast Guard's largest district with 1,750 personnel operating 25 units. Their mission includes maritime safety, resource protection, security, and national defense, making them indispensable in the Pacific.